What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I am so happy to have you guys here. I know it's been a while. I know that, man. I know that we've not been
Billy, we've been
doing these.
slacking. We've been slacking,
We have been
man.
slacking. It's dumb, right? We have been slacking, and I apologize, guys. But you know what? We're gonna jump right into it tonight. So I am Billy,
And I'm Bobby.
and this is the Billy and Bobby Slingshot Show. What's up, guys? Again, thank you so much for joining us in this show. This is, I guess, we've collectively said that this is season 2, episode 1, and we're looking forward to it. Now, we've had to deviate a little bit. I know initially that when we said we were going to do this, Dave from DDM Works was going to be on here tonight, but unfortunately, Dave is has been kind of falling under the weather, so he's not going to be with us tonight. But that's okay. That is okay because we've got a great show for you. So sit back. We love comments. And if you have your comments, post your comments on here. We're going to see them. We're going to talk about them and we're going to go over a bunch of stuff. And hopefully, you guys will have just as good a time as we do. So let's talk about where we have been, man. Where we been, Bobby? Where what have we been doing?
Oh man, well let's see. We were at the Sling Experience in Houston back in April, and man, that was an eye opener. I I,
Wasn't
I thought see I thought that I had the coolest slingshot around. I had the awesome wrap. I had some upgrades to performance, and I had some lights, and I had a little bit of audio, and then I went to Houston and I got schooled on all those things. I was like, man, you never seen so many tricked out slingshots in your life. It
Well,
was
and
amazing.
I could not agree more. So I have never been to Texas, and we were initially going to take Bobby and I were going to take our slingshots down to Houston to Sling Experience. However, just time restraints and man, it costs a lot to trailer two slingshots. Like I don't know, like 1,500 miles, whatever it is. I'm not sure, but time restraints just wouldn't let us do it. So, we decided that we're going to fly down and hang out with the guys, Dave and the guys at DDM and Vernon at Late the Night, and just kind of take in all the sites. And Bobby is 100% correct. You really do not. You get humbled very very quickly. It's a Sling Experience. It really is an eye opener because you think you do a lot, right? You think you spend your money and you get all this stuff done. And you're like, man, I have got a great looking sling, and then you roll in there, and they had, I don't know, it was like 500-600 bikes, man. It was crazy slings. And
I
then
think
you go,
over the course of the like Wednesday to Sunday, they counted over 700. Maybe not all
I,
there
you
at one
know,
time, but 700 different slings in and out for 4 days.
well, for 4 days, right? And that's a big thing because Texas, Houston area that they have a lot of slings, just people, sling owners in general. So they came and went, but it was just an unbelievable event, and I really really enjoyed being there, going to do some of the night rides, which was insane. Let me tell you, like you've not done, you've not done rides, experienced a night ride until you go ride with like 300 slingshots down like through downtown Houston.
Yeah,
It's nuts.
drive down. Yeah, if you're familiar with Houston, you ride down Westheimer and see uh, like slingshots like to the horizon, streets blocked off, you, running every red light for 15 miles. I'd never seen the like.
It was, and I was scared. I was like, just excited beyond my wildest dreams and scared shitless at the very same time. It was crazy because nobody stops, man. You got like 300 slings going down this road, and everybody's just hauling ass, and no fucks are given, right? None, because we just go, and it was unreal. It was unreal to see that, but and then everybody kind of met at this one drugstore, and it was a complete takeover, and it was just nuts. So yeah, and you're right. So a lot of slings. There were a lot of um, there were a lot of slings there, and a lot of people who drove, like you said, from out of state, Arizona. There was a couple that came from, or was that no? We'll talk about Colorado Springs, but there's people coming from all over the country to these things, and so that was that's pretty sweet. Yeah, I definitely yeah, I was blown away. So, everyone who was there that we got a chance to meet, thank you so much. All you guys were just awesome, right? It was just it was I was sad we couldn't bring our slings, but it was a good time. So,
Oh man, yeah. Just the creativity that you see. I mean, it's one thing. Yeah, I've seen like some of the recap videos from different big events like that, but uh, when you're there and you can walk around and see them in person and see the details people put in them, and the care and the attention to detail and just all the different ideas. I mean, you go and you look at 700 slingshots and not two of them alike. I mean, it's
not
amazing.
one. No, no, no two are alike. And that's the best thing about this community, right? Because some people don't want to do mods. Some people want to do audio. Some people want to do lights, performance, whatever the case is, whatever strikes your fancy. That's up to you. And that's what makes this community so good because, the individuality of all of this is amazing and you can appreciate it, right? You can appreciate a person. Um, for instance, let's talk about the right hand drive sling that was there. I mean,
Yeah.
holy crap. So I think there were only two in existence, right? And then I'm not sure where the first one is, but we got to talk to, and you'll have to help me out here, Robert, because I completely spaced it. Um, Dale. Um,
Dale
yes,
Cole. Yeah.
Dale Cole. Let me tell if you guys ever get a chance to talk to Dale, he's on the pages, he's everywhere. If you ever get a chance to talk to Dale, I highly recommend you do that. He is, um, he is like a mad scientist. So this guy completely transformed a 2017 slingshot from left-hand drive to right-hand drive, and I got a chance to see it. And it wasn't perfect. He had some other small stuff he had to do. Yeah, Dale. And but it was so cool to see what he had done. And that's the kind of people that we need in this community on this page. Just wealths of knowledge, people who are far more mechanically savvy than Robert and I are, but nonetheless, it was amazing to see that, and I really enjoyed it. The light show was phenomenal. Everything. It was just a great time. So if you guys are, you ever get a chance to head down to Houston to the Sling Experience, man, make it happen, right? Because it's going to be worth your time for sure. So that was one thing that we did, right? We went there, and then bigger thing is, yeah, well, I'm a new father. I
Well,
am.
yeah, I guess that counts. That counts as a
It
thing.
does count. So
I,
yes, I am a
I'm
new
I'm
father.
still I'm still a little bit in denial because it's cutting into my slingshot time
Dude, it's cutting
with
into my
Billy.
slingshot time. What are you talking
Yeah,
about? So yes.
I keep calling Billy and saying, Billy, can you come over and play slingshots? And he's like, No, I gotta stay with the
No.
kid. And I'm like,
It was,
yeah,
yeah.
why? I wish you would have thought about this. I mean, you
I
didn't realize
no. I
how the
mean,
because you just didn't think about how this was going to affect me, and that's
I
what really
did
hurt.
not. Hey, look, to give you guys some a little bit of background, because this is actually pretty funny. To give you a little bit of a background, so Robert lives about an hour south of me, southeast of me, and I get mail at his house. I have clothes at his house. I spend like before I was a new dad, I would spend 2 or 3 weekends a month over at Robert's house, and we would be doing lights for people, audio, whatever the case is. And so like it was great because my wife was like, hey, I get a weekend to myself, please go and get away. Get away. So that was kind of the deal. And then little man came, and now I'm kind of grounded for a little bit. But that's okay. That's okay because we're gonna get through this. Even though Robert doesn't seem to think so, we're gonna get through this. Um,
I'm
and
I'm still I still need to get a custody agreement drawn up that I can get Michelle to sign.
Well, good
Not
luck
for
with
the
that, my
baby, but
friend.
well, no, I'm not trying to get custody of Billy Bob. I'm trying to get custody. I want equal custody of my slingshot buddy because
Well,
this
yeah, yeah,
one weekend every other month thing isn't working out for me right now. So
yeah.
I need parity here. I need it to get
Well, yeah,
get
and
a
you're
little
exactly right. I
more
need,
fair.
and then once things simmer down and go about their way, I'll be able to pick up. But I haven't got a chance to ride a whole lot. But one of the other things that we did do is we went to the Sling Fest, Colorado Springs, and it was the first one. It was
Mhm.
put on Steve Gabara and a couple other people in conjunction with Stan Griffith to put together the Sling Fest down in Colorado Springs. It was like I said, it was the first annual one, and it was a good time. We
They
really
did a great job.
they
Did a
did
great job.
a just an outstanding job of organizing it and putting it together. And I think at some point there was like over 100 slingshots, which is a lot to be, as a lot to be said. There was a lot of folks who came from out of state, some people from Iowa. I believe Mark came from Iowa. There were some that were on the way back home from Maggie Valley, from
Yeah,
Canada
that
that stopped
couple.
in.
Yeah, Canada. They went from like up north, like Western Canada by Washington State. Drove their slingshot. Not trailered it, but rode in the slingshot all the way to Maggie Valley,
Hardcore.
and then hit Colorado Springs Slingfest or yeah, slingshot sling yeah, our thing.
Yeah, Sling Fight,
Yeah, yeah,
Sling Fest. Yeah, it was
yeah,
great. It was good,
yeah, and
and
hit us on their way back up to Canada. I was like, now that's some hardcore riding right there.
yeah, it was extremely. It was great to have them and meeting new folks, and it was good to see. Had Nut House out there, had his bike.
Yep.
The guys from House of Sound were doing some audio, and then Nut House brought his sling with his bazillion lights on it. It was good to hang out with him and see that custom machine, which is a really beautiful sling. They did a good job of putting that thing together. And then so it was good for us because Bobby and I decided that we have been doing lights for past 2 years. We've been putting LED lights on slings and for customers here in the Colorado area. And we decided, we're gonna do this full time. Well, not full time. We're gonna make a business out of it, I should say. So
We're
we
going to do it
started it.
officially. Yeah,
We're
yeah,
gonna
we're going
do
to
it
be official.
officially, right? So what did we come up with? Well, you see it, guys. Colorado Motion LEDs. That's what our business is now. So if you're in Colorado and you want to get some lights or some audio done, let us know, and we'll be more than happy to help you. We've got customers all the way from north of Fort Collins to Colorado Springs, and everywhere in between. So we would love to help you guys out. And check us out if you go to coloradomotionleds.com or cmleds.com. We can help you with that and hook you guys up. So
Billy, remind me who, like, in the lights in the light and audio competition, who was it that won the lightweight LED competition in Colorado
Weird.
Springs?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I wasn't going to say anything. I wasn't going to toot my own horn. Did manage to pull out a trophy for first place on that one.
And then
For
who
lights,
won for lightweight audio?
audio. Yep, I won that one as well. Yep. Had some stiff competition on both sides, but I managed to pull it off, so that was good. And I think I don't remember who that was the best of show winner. And do you remember who that was,
Uh,
Bobby?
uh, that was me.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
that
was you.
was
Oh, yeah, I
that
remember
was
that
me.
now. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, uh, you know, as a business, we came out with 4 total trophies, which was amazing. We had best install, best uh, lightweight light class and then lightweight audio. And I'm gonna tell you, it was tough. We had a lot of folks who went across. We were up against and did a great job. And I'm sure that next time we meet, we'll probably get our ass kicked. But you know what? That's okay because we made it the first time, and that's all that counts. So yeah, so we had a good time. And if you guys next year, they're going to be doing the second annual one. And so if you happen to be in Colorado Springs area, or I'm not sure where it may be, maybe even Denver. I'm not even sure how that's going to work out. But if you're going to be in Colorado, during the summer months, check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. Something else, though, I think is really important to talk about, and I want to take a few minutes, not dwell on it because we did a whole interview podcast series with Vernon from Light to Night, and so he's kind of stirring up some stuff. And if you don't know, he has formed kind of his own rally series. He decided that that was best for he and his company. So the Three Wheel Rally, man, let me tell you what, they are doing it up. So typically speaking, those who go to rallies and go to slingshot events, it's free. They don't charge you anything to enter. And this is what I like about it. And I'm dogging anybody. Please understand this. I'm not dogging anybody who currently puts on a rally because it's a lot of work. And I'm just explaining my personal preference. I'm speaking for me, and
we
Bobby
go to
can
them,
speak for him.
we enjoy them, we support them fully. Absolutely.
Yes, 100%. I do. But what sets the three real wheel rally? God, I say that quick.
I was going to say, you can actually just say it.
Yeah, I guess I could just put that on. So what sets them aside is, yes, there is an entrance fee, and it's not very much. I don't remember exactly how much it is, but it's not expensive. I want to say maybe it might be 15 or $20, but you get food vouchers and you get all kinds of cool stuff when you go in. And so not only do you get that, but you've got those of you that enjoy this style of music. I mean, freaking Paul Wall was out there judging the bikes. All right. So rapper Paul Wall, holy shit, man. I mean, that's a big deal. You guys got to hang out with him. He was cool, had good conversation with folks. There's going to be, and as you go to these rallies, especially the Three Wheel Rally, there's going to be events for you to do, because typically what happens is when you go to these different rallies, you walk around the rectangular spot where everybody's set up, and even Sling Experience is the same way. It was just a lot of folks. So you walk around, you make your circle, it takes you 30 minutes, maybe an hour to go through everything. And then you just kind of hang out. You really don't do a whole lot. And then Vernon decided he wanted to change the game a little bit. So he's offering concerts and he's doing all these different things to keep people involved as the rally continues, so you don't get bored. And, you can bring your wife, and if she wants to go do like a riverboat tour or whatever the case is, they've got those things set up. And I think that's important because, it's hard sometimes. It is very difficult to get a group of people there, especially if you go to a lot of rallies, right? So on day one, maybe day two of a 4-day rally, you're there, you meet everybody, and then you're like, well, man, I'm done. I don't know what else to do. And it's it's hot out there, and so it's a little more difficult. So I applaud Vernon for doing this. I think this is a big deal. And if you've not been to one of his rallies, that's another big thing is he's giving cash money, like $1,000 to the winner of these lights, the light and sound competitions. So these people who were, well, I'm saying somebody said we lost sound. I don't know. Can somebody else just comment if we can see us, if they see us or hear us? I don't know. I don't know, Robert, if you can check your Facebook maybe and click on and see if you hear it, but I don't know if it is. So let us know if you can hear you. It should not have drop sound. Okay. Well, let's just check this real quick before we get going. I want to make sure that everybody is able to hear us. Okay. All right. Well, somebody hears us, so then that's good. We're good. So sorry you lost your sound, but hopefully you'll be able to get that back. Anyhow, moving forward, again, if you get a chance, go to the 3-wheel rally. Highly suggest it. It's a great thing to do. And next year they're going to be coming to Deadwood, which is about 5 hours north of us, to start, not Deadwood, but I think Sturgis. So we're going to be in Sturgis next year. So Bobby and I will be up there along with Vernon and his team from Light the Night for a rally. I don't have dates on that yet, but we know it's coming. And it's a great place to ride. If you've never been up to South Dakota, I highly suggest you go do that because the views are amazing and the people are awesome. So, um, I want to switch gears for a minute because I know there are some people that may be on YouTube listening, but I want to talk specifically about the Facebook group because there's been some changes, right? There's been some changes going on, and so Paul and I are the two main moderators of the page, and there's been a lot of spam lately. There's been a lot of scamming and spamming, and we have had to take steps into Facebook to help protect you guys because it's getting out of control. One of the big things that we did was we disallowed selling of slingshot or slingshot parts altogether. There are Facebook groups dedicated to just that. We hate to have to do it, but unfortunately, there are people who just been taken for a lot of money, and we want to do our part to separate and protect you guys. So I'm sorry that had to happen, but moving forward, we hope that we can gain some better control over it, and people can actually be adults instead of assholes who decide they want to steal people's money. That being said, don't be a victim of your own ignorance, I should say. And when I don't mean that in a derogatory mean. It means if you're gonna spend $1,000 to buy something from another user, take some small steps to help ensure yourself that that the person's legitimate. Do a video call with them and have them show you the parts, especially if you're spending maybe you're spending $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 on a top, right? Why don't you just jump on a Facebook Messenger video call with a person and then have them show you, here's the top right here. I have it in here. Here's my information. People who are not scamming you will be more than happy to do that. So these are just some small tips to do as you're getting for. I don't want anyone to lose their money unnecessarily. So keep that in mind as you go forward. We have talked about innovators. We've talked about innovators on this podcast, and I want to continue with that because there are people who have spent a ton of money and in research and development and tooling to bring customers a good solid product. And the list, there's a long list of people. There's people, you have Dave from DDM Works, you have Vernon from Light the Night, you have Kyle's his company ZZ Performance, not his company necessarily, but ZZ Performance, who spends tons of money to bring you guys some good parts. And one of the things that the Slingshot community has sorry, try to get something real quick. One of the things that Slingshot community has been lacking is a code reader, right? Because the standard OBD2 reader will not work on the Slingshots. And then there have been some workarounds. I know Bob at MiFi has an adapter that will work, but Dave worked with another company to release a code reader, a code scanner, if you will, for the Slingshots of all years, and it's awesome, right? So if you're looking to reset your check engine codes or find out what your check engine codes are, this is a cheap way to do it, and I think it's like $180. Isn't that what it was? $180, Bobby?
I believe so, like 100, 180, 179. I believe that's right. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so it's well worth the money, especially if you're working with some on other people's slings. I know Q does a lot of work for people. I tried to get him on tonight, but he's in the middle of a build, so he couldn't make it. But there are, there's people who need those tools, or even it's just a nice tool to have around the shop. So if you're doing some work, you're doing some, whatever the case is, you get a check engine light, not it will show you the code, but sometimes it's not super easy to clear it, because in the past, what you've ended up having to do is go to the dealer, have them hook up the digital wrench, and then reset. It's just a pain in the ass, right? So if you're looking for a good solution, head over to DDM Works and pick up their scanner. I highly recommend it. We have one. It's just a great tool to have, and so that's definitely worth it. Um, what else? What are so Bobby? Let's talk a little bit about some of the things that we have done um, here recently. Well, I say recently, within the past couple of months. I have completely redone my audio, and that seems to be, and Bobby has too. We've done a lot with him, but we've gotten into the audio game a little bit more. I did cardio when I was much younger. I worked for Circuit City. I did installations and did the whole MECP thing. So that was a lot of fun. But we see a lot of people asking about sub boxes. So let's um, uh, talk about sub boxes for a minute. So SSV Works has some sub boxes. There's some other people who make custom sub boxes, but last year we got hooked up with a guy. His name is James Babb, and James is one of the nicest people you'll ever meet in your entire life. He is uh, He's very easygoing. He's in Maryland. I'm not sure what his full time job is, but he decided to start building boxes to fit custom boxes to fit some of these subs at a good price. So he makes waterfall speakers, and he also makes sub boxes, and he makes two styles of sub boxes, and we've got both actually between Robert and I. We've got both and the waterfall. And let me tell you, if you're looking for a great a great box, and you're looking for um, a good price on that box, hit up James Babb. And I don't have his information. He posts on this page all the time. I can tag him after the podcast and let you guys know. But he does a phenomenal job. And again, if you're looking for a waterfall or sub box, hit him up, because he'll definitely hook you up. Um, let's see. Let's talk a bit about uh, some of the people always come, and we, I think in our very first episode we talked about this, but it's always nice to kind of revisit a little bit about some of the best bangs for your buck as far as
that
performance issues. And I think
was
our
our that was
list
our
has
very first episode.
yeah, and it wasn't even a video one. I think it was just a regular audio
Nope.
podcast. So let's talk about that for a minute, because I don't know, our list has changed slightly, but I don't think very much. So let's hear it from you guys. Those of you who are listening, um, what is your best mod that you've done to your slingshot under $500? I think that's important. So while we're talking about this, I want to hear from you guys. What's some of the best performance things that you've done? I know personally, and I wasn't a believer until we did it, but the sway bar still stands. I mean,
Yep.
realistically, at the top of the list. If you have a stock slingshot and you don't do anything else, I highly recommend going that route, because um, it is, DDM. Look, I'm a DDM fan. Like, I'm a fanboy of DDM, but I but my sway bar, and I like it, comes from Twist. So Twist Dynamics in Florida is they're phenomenal. Um, and I got one of their sway bars. And what I like about it is it's solid, right? It's a solid
Hmm.
shifter, and so it not solid shifter, I'm sorry. It's a solid bar, and it really just strengthens the front end of the sling. And if you're doing any kind of mountain riding or any kind of curves, this thing, it just makes it a whole new. It just wakes to me. It just wakes the sling up, and I highly recommend it.
I was thinking the same thing. Like, especially in Colorado, we're partial to the sway bar because of the switchbacks and twisties in the mountains. I mean, if you live somewhere flat and straight, it may not mean as much to you, but if you take the 30-mile-an-hour curve ahead signs as a challenge, like I do, yeah, that's sway bar made all the
Yeah.
difference in the world.
That yeah. So definitely on the top of our list, I think is a sway bar. Now, somebody threw out, which is definitely on my list, is short throw shifter. So
Yes.
I did not. And if you have an automatic, obviously this doesn't apply to you, but I love the short throw shifter. Coupled with, right, there's a caveat to this. The short throw shifter, but it's to me, it's got to be coupled with a weighted knob. So
Yes.
um because it's nice. So the short throw is nice when you're shifting. It's like, oh man, this is really awesome. But if you put a weighted knob on combined with that, it makes your whole shifting experience in my eyes differently. Um, DDM sells one. It's like it's a silver. I don't know how much this thing weighs. It's more than a pound. It feels like, but it's awesome, right? So, but Sling Mods. There's a bunch of different places that sell weighted shifter knobs. Highly suggest you guys look into that. For less than $200, you can get a combination and be just fine. So,
One thing
highly.
I don't think that everybody knows, just on the name of it though, short throw shifter. See, when I first looked at it, I thought short throw shifter, oh, it's just a short knob. No, the short throw shifter changes the feel of the shifting. It goes like the stock shifting is kind of it's kind of fluid. I mean, you throw it into first, but you don't necessarily feel like it clicked into first, or like when you shift it down to second, you can feel that it's in gear. But with the short throw shifter, it's like you throw it in first, you throw it in a second, third, fourth. It's clicking, like you pull it down and it's like a clicking feel, like it's clicking into place. It's I don't know. To me, it's a tactile satisfaction to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird, but it's just I like the feel of it.
No, I agree, and I like the feel of it as well. It does make a difference. Let's take a look. So, what I'll put on here, this is the one from DDM Works, and as you can tell, it doesn't give you, it doesn't give you a weight, but this is what it looks like. This is the one that I have now. Understand, there when you put the short throw shifter on, or if you have an aftermarket knob, there's a factory piece that don't throw any of your factory shifter parts away because you'll need that for this one to go on, but it will go on without it. But it just makes it a little bit better. So I have this one. I love it. It's great. It's got a good look. It does get a little hot if you're in the sun, but overall, I like it. So yeah, definitely a good route with that. And then somebody else said, I don't have these. And I apologize. The software that we're using, all it says is it's a Facebook user, so I'm not sure who it is. It's telling me this. I have a suspicion I know who posted this, but this the convex mirrors. I don't have them. I don't think Robert, you don't
I
have them
do.
either, do you?
I do
You
have
do
them.
have them.
They're
Okay.
great. Yes. Yeah.
What do you like about them? What do you think it does the best for you?
Well, it expands the field of view from the side mirrors. So, well, number one, I would say adjust your mirrors. Take the 15 millimeter socket and loosen the swing arm on uh, your side mirrors. Get a buddy to stand behind your slingshot, and you can just adjust them to get them to the perfect like positioning, because you don't get full range of view just by like pushing the mirror itself back and forth with its limited uh, mobility in the frame. Um, but yeah, if you get somebody to help you adjust to get them just right, and then put those convex mirrors on, it makes it so that it's a lot safer. You get a lot more field of view. Um, yeah, I will admit that I spent before I realized I could adjust the mirrors and got the convex stick-ons. Uh, I I spent a lot of time in my slingshot hoping that there was nobody in my blind spot when I was changing lanes because frankly I just couldn't see. But
Right.
after
It's
getting
kind of
those
a guessing
convex
game.
mirrors and adjusting the mirror arms correctly, no problem after that. But yeah, I totally agree that was a
I
that was a
think,
good.
yeah, I do a lot, especially if you're riding with a helmet. Sometimes it's really difficult to kind of see, and so having those mirrors is great. Paul, man, you're a rock star, dude. Paul, listen, if you guys never seen Paul's slingshot, it's really great. Paul's a great guy, lives in Maryland, um, and has a pretty sweet looking swing. So thanks for that. Thanks for the tip on the mirrors. Taller windshield. Now that I don't have one, but I have a short, like the factory's SLR slingshot. It's tinted, but Robert, you have a taller slingshot.
Oh
Um,
man, yeah, yeah.
um,
F4+5.
yes, and
It's
it just
awesome.
makes a difference, right? It makes a big difference. It makes like I don't know, even when it's cooler outside, right? Because I mean, the whole point of
Mhm.
slingshot, you want the wind blowing in your hair and kind of give you that. But let me tell you, when it's raining or if it's cold and it's blocking some of that, it to me it just extends your riding season a little bit longer when you have those taller windshields. And it's something that I'm going to get hopefully next season. That's one of the next big things that I'd like to do. I've seen a ton of windshields and um Grant Wood, the OG of this group, he's no longer in it. He sold a sling. He literally had every windshield on the market at one point, and the best one that I have seen to this date is the NASCAR windshield. It just really is. It doesn't require the center bracket to hold the windshield up. Holly, it's just a great windshield, and that's probably the one that I'll pick up. And so. Yeah, so windshield mirrors, great. Somebody said cup holders. I mean, yeah, yeah, especially if waterfalls where you're blocking, where it blocks one of your drink holders. And I think maybe somebody makes one that doesn't block it. Whatever the case is, having drinks in a slingshot sometimes is difficult. Whether you buy the one that goes up by the dash and has the two cup holders on either side, or whatever you do, the ram mount like you have, where has the
Mhm.
one holds a bigger cup. Whatever the case is, certainly convenience wise, that is phenomenal. Now, somebody asked James. So somebody said, James Babb is the guy who makes speaker boxes, and
BABB.
yep, James Babb, and it's a picture of if you search for him, it's a gray and yellow slingshot. I think the front of it is facing. You know what? While we're here, let me pull up James's profile so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. Let's see here, and let me see. I was just talking to him, and unfortunately, like I said tonight he couldn't make it. But let me So this is his profile page right here. Let me post it here. If it works, here we go. So yeah, all right. So this is James's webs. This is his profile. If you go there, he again does phenomenal work, and I love it. He will treat you well and at a great price, and you won't be disappointed. So hit James up and give him a call. He'd be more than happy to help you. Let him know that we sent you over. I said he'll take care of you either way, but it's always nice to know. Um, all right, so moving forward a little bit. So somebody did mention somebody on here mentioned master cylinder braces. Now, I don't. Neither one of us have it. You don't have one, do you, Robert?
I don't have it, but I want one. I definitely want one.
I did not realize, and it wasn't until Sling Experience when I was hanging out. We were hanging out with Dave doing some installs. Just how much that master cylinder moves. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
considerable amount when you squeeze on the brake. And
Yeah, squeeze the brake and how spongy it is
yeah, so
without that brace, and then you put that brace on and it's like rock solid.
rock solid. it will help you. It will help. There are companies out there. ZZ Performance came out with a new brake kit. That's not as is not as costly as the big kit. But Dave's got them. ZZ Performance has got them. Whatever strikes your fancy as far as that goes. I think some things to take in consideration. Obviously, the big kits will affect. You have to get bigger rings if you have light rings on your wheels. They will not fit over the caliber, so you'll need to make sure that you look at that before you upgrade. Whether you want to do wheel lights or you have wheel lights, just make sure that. Or just know that they will be affected by that. And I think Zerate makes the bigger rings for that kit. I'm not sure how much they are, but if you hit them up, I'm sure they can let you know. Um,
How did we go from master cylinder brace to you talking about wheel rings?
well, it's because I like lights. I can't compare everything to lights. I mean, it's just what I do, right?
Everything leads back to lights.
Everything leads back to lights. Yes, it does. So let's, I want to spend the next few minutes because there's not a lot of folks in the room. It's like 70 of you guys, but I really want to hear some feedback. This is important. Let's talk. This is yes, wheel rings are awesome. This is a, this is kind of people either love it or hate it. All right. And so before I get into this, let me just tell you that my wife and I, we've kind of decided to go. We're not tree huggers by any means. Okay, don't get me wrong. But last year,
Jesus, there we go.
well, I don't care. I don't whatever it is. We've become we have become more. I don't know, maybe just environmentally aware, right? Just kind of taking some small steps. Nothing that is crazy. We put solar in our house last year, um, and so we got an awesome tax rebate. So we had solar on our house, and then this year we opted to purchased purchase a fully electric vehicle. So we have a Kia EV6 fully electric car. I can tell you right now, it's the best decision ever made. And I'm gonna get a bunch of slack. People like, electric cars are bad for the environment. They're making them. I really don't. Quite honestly, I don't give a shit. Right? I don't give a shit about that. The thing, it works for me. Works for my family. I love it. I'm promoting it because I think it's awesome. Is it, do I dislike gas cars? No, I don't. I don't. I have one and slingshot. So I'm not against gas cars. I'm just saying that
Tell
we've
the
done some
truth,
small
Billy.
things.
You're a gas hater.
I am not
You're
a
all
gas hater. Don't no, I am not. I am not a gas hater. I'm sorry. I am not a gas hater. And you drive a hybrid, right? So I mean, you're not too far behind me, Jackwad. But
well.
but
I bought a hybrid because I thought it was going to give me better gas mileage, and lo and
yeah, and you got
behold,
fucked
good
on
Boy
that one,
Scout.
didn't you?
Yeah,
You got
sure.
hosed on that one. The guys,
Oh,
Robert said,
get
"I'm going
24
to go
miles to
buy
the
this
gallon.
hybrid F-150, and it's going to get 30 miles in a gallon, and it doesn't. It gets what? How much
It
is it?
gets 17.
17 miles, but it's an hybrid, right? Yeah, okay. Um, so where I'm going with this is going to make sense in a minute. Is I've seen some posts here lately about a company who is designing. It looks like a Vanderall, really, but it's all electric. And now there's a company which will remain nameless right now that is looking at an electric possible conversion kit for the slingshot. Now, this will not work for everyone. It probably wouldn't work for me, right? Because range on it's the biggest thing, and then charge time's a different thing. So it probably would not work well for me. But I think it's pretty cool. I want to know about you guys. What do you think about the possibility of a company that releases a electric auto cycle? Let's just call it an auto cycle because that's really what it is. So let's talk about that for a minute. What are your thoughts on that, Robert?
I don't know if I was going to do an electric auto cycle. I don't think I would try to do it as a conversion kit. I can't imagine that it would be cost effective for the slingshot. If I was going to do something, I would just buy one that was built that way from scratch. Uh, and yeah, to that last comments point for local only. I like to go out and do 200 and 300 mile rides on a Saturday out in the mountains I I would be nervous. I mean, I know I get out to Podunk, rural Colorado, they're not going to have a charging station. They're sure as heck not going to have a fast charging station.
Right.
And I don't even if they did, no. I don't know. I would have to weigh the pros and cons. I mean, I like the idea of it. I know the the acceleration on that thing would be crazy, and it would be a lot of fun. I think it would depend on your personal riding style. Where do you like to ride? How do you like to ride? How long do you like to ride?
Yeah,
Um,
I agree. I agree. I think if and somebody hit the nail on the head, it's like we just talked about local only. I think that's really the kind of people who stay within town, cities, people who like to cruise, right? People who like just don't. I don't want to call them trailer queens, but I mean, this is what they are, right? So people who don't intend on taking long rides, and there is a group of slingshot riders who don't take long runs. There are riders, and then there are showers, right? Um, so if you are a shower, then maybe this is a great option for you. It's all electric, it's cool, it's new, but I think charging is going to be the issue, at least for the next 5 to 10 years. Now, I am interested to see how it works. Somebody said that they had one on pre-order, and I am extremely interested in seeing how well it does, and if it's single motor, dual motor, how that works. Because I can tell you right now, my car being fully electric is the fastest car I've ever driven. 0 to 60, I should say. 0 to 60 is stupid,
that
and
thing is a
Bobby,
trip. That
it
is a
is
trip.
it will put you back in the seat, more so than any other car because it's the instant torque. Um, Yes. So sorry about that. Does James have a website? He does not have a website. But let me tell you, here's what I'm going to do. I will put his number. Let me put his phone number. And he will not be mad at me for doing this. Let me put his phone number up on the screen, and then if you guys want to get gosh, if you guys want to give him a call, he'll be more than happy to, or send him a text message. I'd probably just send him a text message. Um, and He'll be out here. Let me just put this on the screen for you real quick. But no, I'm interested to see how it works. And I think,
I wish I wish this was let us see who was posting the comments. I am interested as far as the one on pre-order. If you've gotten any feedback on a timelines have you been given, or like timeline ranges? I'm just curious. I'm just wondering because everything I've seen so far, it's still been in concept stage. So I didn't know if there was something that was any farther than that or not.
yeah, I don't know if this is Dustin because I know our friend Dustin said he was going to order one or put money down. So if that's Dustin that said
Oh,
that,
okay.
I'm interested because he's one of our customers. We've done some work for him, and let me tell you, this guy no,
Oh, not Dustin.
not Dustin. All right, good. But anyhow, yeah, let us know. I hope it comes to fruition, and I hope that I hope that it works out for folks. Like I said, if it's local, um, level one, level two chargers, um, if you can take it to a level three, a supercharger, a DC fast charger, if it's capable, that might be good. I can go from 0 to 80% in 17 minutes in my car. If this unit is capable of DC fast charging, then certainly that would um, be something worth looking at. Did the individual? Oh, hey Dustin. So did the individual who was looking for James's information? Did you copy that number down? Just want to make sure that you got it, man. Oh, hey Kevin. Yeah. Um, Kevin, did you grab that box information from James? Just let me know if you did, and then we'll go from there. But no, we'll see how it works. I think it's going to be a good deal. I think I think it's not for everybody, but some people it is. So we'll see. Moving forward, let's talk a little bit. We talked a little bit about Vernon and Light the Night, and listen, there's always light controversy, and I'm always going to go back to this. there was people today talking about, they were looking for strips that didn't turn yellow, and we had a whole conversation about that. But I I need when we talked about innovation, we talked about what people go through. I need you guys to understand that whether it's light to night. Oh yes, thank you. So yes, thank you about just let us know when that how that comes into fruition, and we'll go from there. But Vernon, he and I we go back a long way, and we. When my son was sick and inevitably passed away, Vernon was, he was awesome. He checked on me, checked on my family, make sure everything was good. And I got to know him, and more importantly, kind of his business and how he operates. And let me just tell you that some of the things that he's got coming out, and um, we'll know a lot more in the upcoming months, but really are game changers, right? So if you're looking for lights, there are a bunch of light companies out there. Some people will say, you know what? There's this one guy says there's 3 manufacturers in China that make all the light strips, and maybe that is the case, right? But what they don't tell you is that there may be 3 distributors or 3 companies who make those strips, but they don't make the same strip. So they make different levels of strip, right? And then they make strips according to the customer specifications. So they are a strip manufacturer. It doesn't mean that all their strips are made the same, and that's
It's not the
important to
same
know.
strip. It's yeah.
It is a strip. I mean, you can get, what type of silicone are you putting on it? What type of LED bulb are you putting on it? These are types of things
How
that the
thick is the
customer pays
silicone?
for.
How good is the glue that's holding the whole thing together?
That's
Like,
correct. You're
yeah.
right. So these are specifications a lot of folks they don't understand. And then I have a lot of folks who come to us, and they come into Bobby and I, and they go, I don't get it. I don't understand why are these lights so expensive? And I mean, quite frankly, they are expensive lights. But what you don't understand is that it's not the lights that are expensive. The lights itself, they're not that expensive. It's the everything that comes with it, right? It's the tooling, um, it's the cost to manufacture it. And after COVID, we all know how that went. It's the controllers, right? So not all controllers are alike. You have some companies who by their own admittance, use crap controllers that you can get for a dime a dozen on an Amazon, but they will not do what some of the other manufacturers do. Whether it's Light to Night, whether it's Joker Slingshot, it doesn't matter who it is. Their controllers do things and cost more to make. And I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. I've seen companies who use cheap controllers, and I have seen some that don't, and they make a huge difference. So if you combine that technology and the technology that's coming in the future, in the next couple of months, you'll understand a little bit more why these lights are so expensive. So yeah, somebody mentioned that the kids love wheel lights. It shows, you know what, when you can pull up to a show in the daylight and turn your lights on and have them be like stupid bright in the middle of the 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you've got a good set of lights. When you have to turn the intensity on your lights down when you're driving at night, if you're on the interstate or something, because it blinds you, you've got good lights, right? You combine that with customer service, and then that's what you're paying for. You're paying for the total package. So I just wanted to address that. But just know that Vernon and his team over at Light Tonight, and I'm not scared to tell you they're sponsors of this show, because I consider Vernon family. I consider Dave at DDN Works. I consider him family as well. And neither Bobby nor I would endorse anything that we didn't believe wholeheartedly was a superior product. So there are some good stuff out there. There are companies who make good products but have crappy customer service. And let me tell you, you're losing the battle, my friend. And I'm not calling anybody out. You know who you are. But when you order something from somebody and they're 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months out, and you still don't have your stuff, and you won't respond to the customer and just keep them informed of what's going on, I don't care what kind of product you sell, you're not going to win this battle. You're just not going to win. You're not going to succeed. So The best thing I can tell you is, find companies out there who are willing to take care of their customer, and their products will come with it. So, what are your thoughts as far as that's concerned, Bobby?
I wholeheartedly agree. And the yeah, I mean yeah, I definitely think customer service makes or breaks the experience for the customer. And um, as like new small business people, with our little light shop, it really makes me appreciate uh, others that have like become legendary in their good customer services. Like I I do the best I can, but I know that, like, whether it's somebody being unreasonable or uh, I don't know, you do everything you
The
can for them,
excuses.
and they still want to trash you. Uh, the the patience that some people have to still give the good customer service, and that's I don't
I
know,
think that I think that's what sets people aside, because you're gonna have bad customer,
sets
even
them
with good
apart, not
products
sets
and
them
good
aside.
customer service. Yeah, it sets them apart, right? So yeah, that's what happens. And in business, you're gonna have people who are Karens, right? You're just gonna have people who are not happy no matter what you do. You just have to accept that when you go into a business, and it doesn't matter what business you are. You're gonna deal with bad people, and how you deal with those bad people really make the difference, in my mind. And just like somebody mentioned, Dave, having the best customer service you've ever witnessed. I will second, third, I will four fifth that. Let me tell you,
Yeah,
because I don't think you guys, if you've never dealt with Dave and you've never seen what he does to go above and beyond to help somebody who needs help, then you can't truly appreciate it. But I can tell you right now that you will find few people in this world who run a business better and treat a customer better than David DDM works. That's just a fact, right? That is just
that's
a
absolutely.
fact. And if you don't believe me, order something from him. You know what? Call his tech line on a Sunday at 7 p.m. when you're trying to put something together and go, I don't understand. Can you help me explain this? And he's going to take the time out of his day to help you. He
And
just does
he's
that.
gonna answer the phone himself.
Yes,
And
himself, not somebody else. He's going to answer the phone. He's going to tell you, oh, you should need to do X, Y, and Z. I've called Dave for stuff that we didn't even buy from him, right? Something like, I have a question about this, because he works on so many slings. And I call him and I go, we had a brake caliber issue. And man, he was just like, well, holy crap, do X, Y, and Z. And we did, and everything was fine, but without that help. And I'm not suggesting you call Dave just to ask him random questions. He's there for, he's running the business and so forth. But just know that if you buy something from him, he's going to take care of you, and he's going to be upfront with you, and he's going to treat you the best way possible. So again, I'm using Dave as an example because he really is the best in the business. He'll take your. That's awesome. You know what? I do not in a million years. Do I doubt that comment right there? He'll take your call while he's flying on a plane. Um,
yeah, he'll walk you step by step how to rebuild your engine and add a supercharger to it. Yeah, while he's at 15,000
yeah,
feet.
well, yeah, and those of you who don't know, Dave has a pilot's license. He has his own plane, and he flies as much as he can. And so yeah, he'll be up there in the clouds flying around and be like, yeah, here, do this, take and loosen this screw and pull this pedal, and you'll be fine. But guys, let me tell you, I appreciate it. This is not 100% what we have planned today, due to some illnesses, and just the fact that, I mean, essentially it's a Friday night in the summer. People are out and about. They don't have time to sit around and sit on a podcast tonight. But we're gonna for the next one that we do, and we will be doing one much sooner. There will not be months to go through. I can't give you a timeline because obviously family's kind of important, and we've got our own stuff that we have to do. But we would love to. we would love to hear from you guys. A couple ways you can do that. Probably the best way to do that is to excuse me. The best way to do it is head over to our page on Facebook, Billy and Bobby, facebook.com/Billy and Bobby SS. You can also hit us up on Instagram. If you go to Instagram, those of you who do that, Colorado Motion LEDs is our Instagram. And then I don't have this on a bottom, but if you go to Billy and Bobby uh, SS at gmail.com, you can send us a message, or you can hit us up on Facebook, whatever works best for you guys. We just want to say we appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for taking your time out of tonight to listen to us ramble for an hour. But we're going to bring you good content. And if you have suggestions, we're more than happy to listen to those too. So with that, you guys go enjoy the rest of your weekend. Keep your slings on all three wheels, and just enjoy yourself, guys. So thanks again, and we'll see you next time.